Hi guys, welcome back to my channel with another video. This platform I have created was actually created due to so many issues we are facing on a daily basis. And since I'm a person that is always speaking up for the truth, for the right thing, regardless if it's even against my own self or my family, this topic that I'm going to talk about is to me the most important topic, and it's a very sensitive topic in the Muslim world and in the Arab world, which I have dealt with all my life, and it's very dear to my heart as I have witnessed numerous and countless of encounters when it comes to racism.
Hello guys, my name is Golden Boy and I just wanted to introduce myself in this video so that you can listen to what this woman was talking about. Now, in a world of Chinese, uh, whites, blacks, and even the Arabians, you'll find that in the white community, you'll find that people usually have this called racism. When you go to Chinese, also the same thing. When you go to the community of black people, it's also the same thing. But in Pakistan, you'll find that people are of less racism. In this video, this woman is going to talk about how her brother got into racism, how he experienced racism, and especially the Pakistan. I hope you'll stay tuned and listen to the video up to the end and just be following it up.
But however, it has never been towards me. So this is why I'm speaking out for the rest of the people, and I'm not sure if you should see this video as a wake-up call, as a reminder, as a storyteller. I really don't know, but I really felt, and I know if I have a voice, regardless if I have a small following base or whatsoever, it has to be said and it has to be addressed. Like I mentioned, it's in regards to racism in the Muslim community, mostly in the Arab world, I would say in the Middle Eastern world. However, I will definitely include the North Africans. So just a quick background, I'm a Tunisian from North Africa, if someone doesn't know where Tunisia is. And I have been born and raised in Germany, so technically I just lived maybe 1 or 2 years in Tunisia when I was a child, first grade and kindergarten, so I don't really recall a lot. But I used to fly back to Tunis every summer, stayed there for 6 weeks, so I know exactly how people think there. And obviously I lived in Germany with a Muslim community that's mainly dominantly was North Africans and 99% Tunisians, so I can definitely speak out, and I know the ins and outs, and I know how they think, I know how I think, I know where we're lacking, I know how the Arab world also thinks. As I lived also in the Middle East for 7 years, I just left the Middle East, the Qatar region, and I guess we should just dive right into it. So growing up in Germany as an ethnic person, as an immigrant child, I never saw myself actually as an immigrant child or as someone who's an outcast. I never ever had any encounters, any racist movements, maybe on a later stage, but they never really bothered me. But in my family, we are 4 siblings. 3, me, my sister, and my brother have pretty much light skin, like super white. And my 4th and youngest brother has actually a dark skin, which is, nowadays you can say he's, I don't know, he's, yeah, light skin for someone who's African, but he is pretty dark skinned for me, or compared to me and my siblings, and compared also for the Tunisian world. So okay, let me get the for the Arab, for the North African world. He might not even feel the way I felt when I used to hear comments about his color when he was younger. People used to say, "Oh, he looks Pakistani." You know, sometimes the problem is in the North African, and maybe also the Arab or every community. Actually, I'm not gonna pin it down to or narrow it down to us. They give comments without thinking how the other person feels, without any thoughts of how that might affect someone. I heard he looks like Pakistani, he's too dark. In Tunis, he told me himself, once he got slapped actually by a policeman because the policeman did not understand how on earth someone that dark And I'm not saying my brother is super dark. Obviously, if you would see pictures, you'd be like, what's wrong with you? But he is actually dark compared to us, like I said. So for the Tunisian policeman, he was not understanding why. He told him literally, someone with your color lives in Germany and I am in Tunis. And these things just stick with me. And even like at the immigration, my brother and my other brother are being together and, giving the passport for the security. It's always the same. There's no way this is your brother. There's no way this is your sister. There's no way you guys are family. Like, because he's the dark child and we are all like the white kids in the family. That's why when I grew up, I never ever saw color. I never understood there is really a difference between me and my brother or between me and my cousin who is super dark. I never thought it's an issue. It hurt me so bad when I heard these comments towards my brother. He used to also tell me obviously that the police in Germany would also stop him every now and then, just obviously based on him being a guy and an immigrant child and looks super dark with his beard as a Muslim guy in Europe. I have never ever been stopped. I have never ever been dealt with in a bad way. I'm a Muslim girl who wears hijab ever since I'm 11. I should also be actually affected by these attributes that I show to the world. However, I have never been. But growing up, having someone in your family actually going through that racism is so made me feel like, not I have to speak up for every single person, it just did not make sense to me how on earth is someone that looks just slightly different than us is treated in a completely different way. And I started noticing this because when I got older, obviously, and I used to go to the beach to Tunis, and like I said, I enter Tunis, I'm like a white kid. Obviously, I go to the beach on a daily basis and I come out being, super, super tan and super dark. And my family, and I remember this neighbor, she would always say, oh my God, you used to be so pretty. What happened to you in the last couple of weeks? Now you're so, they don't want to say ugly, but so, do something. We have specific creams in Tunis and specific masks that keeps you white, and all that mentality that a white person or someone with a lighter skin, let's not say white person because we still obviously not white people, but someone with a lighter skin is always more beautiful, is always more pure. Many people want to speak to them, many people want to surround themselves with, and if you're dark, technically, oh yeah, he's nice, she's cute, but I mean, come on, she's a dark girl. How many comments did I hear about, yeah, he's gonna marry this, yeah, but she's dark. Wallahi. And okay, let's continue. The problem is that some people don't even know they are racist, and the comments that are giving, and the comments that are, the words that are coming out of their mouth are so hurtful. I really do not understand how someone else feels, because I'm not in their shoes. I'm not black, I'm not even brown, and I feel it deep in my heart and I feel it deep in my soul that you make someone else feels less worthy than you because his color. I find it very funny because to other people, there is always someone who's whiter than you, and there's always someone who's darker than you. So technically, if these, in my childhood, these comments have been made, I always wanted to say, because I was too young, obviously I never said something, and I'm like, in my head, but a German person thinks I'm dark, and I'm white for an North African girl, and maybe a Finnish girl, a German person is way too dark for her, because Finnish and Swedish people, or the Nordics, are, so white that you can barely see them. It's like, there is always someone who's lighter than you. Go to Syria and Lebanon, you will see girls that are so white, and so what? I'm not even going to go into details about the first call of prayer in the times of the Prophet Muhammad, Bilal, who was dark. He was a freed slave, and he was called by the Prophet to make the adhan as the first ever call to prayer. Mu'adhan, we would say. Do you think back in the days they cared about black and not black? They cared, but I'm talking about the Prophet, I'm talking about the Islam, I'm talking about our religion, that we constantly say, oh my God, That, you know, the people who would, what bugs me is the people who are praying and um, believing in God, and the people who are crying in the Taraweeh and during Ramadan, Tahajjud, and all these things, Salat al-Jum'ah, or the Friday prayers. People would cry and people would ask God for forgiveness, and people would, I don't know, feed the needy and stuff, not knowing their their foundation in life is based on being a goddamn racist. And when I always used to ask my friends and be like, dude, that comment you just made is unbelievable. They say, no, 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 I'm not a racist, but I mean, I don't have to be friends with him. I'm not racist, but I don't want my daughter to marry a black guy, just period. Why? Give me a reason. Why do you think that is, or how do you think, give me a reason how do you think that's not a racist comment? That's deep down in you, that you think you are better than someone else based on their color. And let's not even talk about the Indians, the Pakistanis, the Nepalis. That's a whole different discussion with the Arabs, or even the North Africans. Really, I'm not sure because I never had a discussion with them. And when you tell them, for me, because I noticed even way worse racism. There's a difference between racism in North Africa, 100%, and the racism in the Middle East and the Arab world is a whole different level. I can tell you that the racism in North Africa is really based on lack of knowledge. No one thinks I'm better than the other person. No one thinks I'm higher, I'm whiter, because obviously towards the end we're all Africans, or you are Amazigh, or I don't know, your blood is Arab, or whatever they think they are. I had an encounter, for example, with my mom. I mean, when you start being honest, you have to be honest all the way. This encounter happened, I don't know, 10 years ago? 10 years ago, I believe. And okay, I think my sister will not like this, but she was in a relationship with someone who was African American, but he was Muslim. So obviously I grew up all my life never ever ever having any discussions about racism, because my dad raised me in a way that I'm Muslim, period. I have not even been raised as you are Muslim Sunni, you are following the Maliki madhab, you are this and this color, your great grandparents are Arab or Amazigh or whatsoever. I have never had these discussions with my father. He just made sure we identify as human and Muslim, and I cannot thank God and my parents for that. That really, like, if I see my friends and all the people around me, all the discussions and all the topics about them being, I don't know, they are this, they are that, but no, I'm this and that, and I'm always the only one in the group. I'm like, why does it even matter? It's cool to know what you are, it's cool to know your DNA or your ancestors, but why does it even matter? Because once that discussion starts, it's not gonna end. You think you're better than this person, you think you're better than the Moroccan person, or the Syrian person thinks he's better than, I don't know, the Jordanian, and the Jordanian thinks he's better than a Khaliji. It's not gonna end. That's why I love the way I have been raised, and I have been blind to colors, religions, whatever. You are a goddamn human. So this encounter was, like I said, my sister was engaged. No, the guy wanted to, ask for her hand in marriage, and she told my mom, and my mom found out he is African American. She didn't understand what it means, obviously, back in the days. So we said, yeah, he's black. I didn't think we did have to say that, but it just, happened that we said that. And she was shocked. She was so shocked that it's not gonna happen. She couldn't find words that it's really gonna happen in her own family, that her own daughter is being with African American. The funny part is she didn't even realize what she's saying is racist. That's why I'm telling you, there's a huge difference between you are really deep down hardcore racist and what you say, what you say, and you still continue, proving your point, or you just really didn't realize what you say is so bad and so wrong that actually you're considered racist. So I remember I had my sister-in-law. She's been discussing the topic with my mom, and I obviously as well, because at that time I was living in America, and it is really not easy to make someone understand their point of views. Because when I used to tell her, Mom, what you say, and I was infuriated, I was so sad, I was so shocked, it hurt me so bad that my own mom thinks that way, where the entire family doesn't think that way, considering my brother is being dark as well. But the comment would be like, yeah, but my son is he's cute, he's cute, he's I don't know what. And the amount of time that we took the time to speak to my mom to make her understand. And when I just said one sentence actually, and she felt so bad, and subhanAllah, it changed her perception from today to tomorrow. It changed her perception overnight. You can really make someone give him a wake-up call or a slap in the face, without obviously slapping your parents. And I told her, I'm not going to give you, Mom, I'm not going to give you, what happened back in the days with the Prophet and Bilal and Mu'adhin and all that, the story that we always bring up when it comes to black people. Allah, who created me, you, and the whole world. He created also, obviously, the Africans, the Indians, the Pakistanis. How, if you are refusing someone based on his skin color, forget even the fact that you're racist. You are refusing and rejecting what God created. Sorry, let that sink in. You are refusing what Allah created. He decided that I have the skin color. He decided that that person is going to be African hardcore, because obviously we have light skin, we have dark skin. He is deciding on every single thing on earth. How do you think you have a different say in this? And then it really hits you. If you are a true believer, you switch in a second. Because her reason was, I was never really aware, and her comments was obviously, I know that my parents are not racist, and I know a lot of North Africans are not racist. They are just not used to have Africans around them. My mom never was raised with Africans. She never saw them in Tunis. She just sees them on TV, for example, maybe the rap music video clips, etc. And with time, she is so shocked actually how other people think about it. I said, Mom, remember back in the days how you used to see it? You're not a racist. It's just you were not really educated. So number one, you really have to educate people around you, your parents, your friends, your colleagues, whatsoever. They might not be racist, they just don't see the full picture. However, on the other side, we do have the big racists in the Middle East, where I lived for 7 years. I saw with my own eyes, I heard, and I know, even if I would have discussions with them, they say, I don't care. He is African, I don't care. He is Pakistani, I don't care. He is Indian. As if you, as an Arab with your light skin, have a higher stage in Jannah compared to these people with a slightly darker color. Honestly speaking, and this video could go on and on and on and on, we could actually completely sum this up. And I swear to God, if people, every single Muslim person who considers himself Muslim, a believer, I'm not just saying you've been born Muslim. This topic is obviously more addressed to the Muslim people, not to the whole human race. Because we have one thing that can diminish the way we think completely in a second. I swear to God, if you sit down with yourself, if you think just about one thing, first of all, Allah, obviously, who created you, the blacks, the people of color, the browns, I don't know what, who, every single thing, the stones, the trees, the leaves, the animals, everything. He created and he chose. I'm not going to tell you be grateful that you got the skin color, because that skin color means nothing. That doesn't mean you are a better believer. It doesn't mean that you are better than anyone. It doesn't mean that you are, more pious or more religious. Actually, it means that you are less religious than other people because you have this point of view in life. If you just think for maybe, I swear to God, 5, let's say 15 seconds, that you are having a discussion with the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you are in the presence of the Prophet, and you would have this discussion and say, I'm sorry, this guy cannot marry my daughter. I'm sorry, that person, I cannot even sit with him. He's too dark. I don't want him in my house. I don't want anything to do with him. They are less than me. I'm better. I have a whiter skin. Just imagine yourself, you're sitting in the presence of the Prophet ﷺ, and you say these words. Won't you feel ashamed? Like, not you feel ashamed. Don't you think the Prophet would be so ashamed and disappointed to a level that you would want to, I don't know, would just want to vanish in a second that you even had that thought once in your life? If people would just seriously think they could one day see the Prophet and have this discussion with them, but they really will continue to think, oh no, my opinion is still right, knowing that they're being racist, and knowing racism is not okay at any point in Islam. Because once, like I said, once you reject that person, once you think you are higher than someone else or you are better than someone else, I fail to understand how people think that way, and I fail to understand how they say they are religious, and I fail to understand that there are really the people who go to Mecca, who do the tawaf, people who are, doing their sujood, people who are praying to God. I fail to understand. And the funniest point is, you are making fun of these people and you think you're better than these people, and live in Europe or America or Canada, wherever you live, and you have always someone else make you feel you're not good enough because of your skin color, because of your religion, because you're an ethnic person, because your language is not really pure and fluent. And yet, whatever is being forced upon you, you're being oppressed, or you're being discriminated, or you face racism in your life, you are continuing the same cycle to someone else. But yet call yourself a Muslim. To me, it's a disgrace. To me, it's a disgrace. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever lived with, I ever heard. I can give you even stories as a girl, again, with super fair skin, and I have friends who are mostly Sudanese, mostly Africans. We get along. I don't know. It's not obviously intended to have only African friends. And countless and numerous of times while I was living in the Gulf, I heard the comment that, why would you even sit with them? Why would a girl like you be friends with them? Why would a girl like you date someone who's, I don't know, Sudanese, Nigerian, whatsoever? Why? They are not presentable. You cannot go with them to a hotel. It's so embarrassing. How many times did I see people stopping, wallahi stopping, when they see me sit with a black guy, and people who know me? Why? They think it just doesn't get into their brain, as if me being with a white guy or me having white friends is gonna make life better, or they're gonna improve my life, or we're gonna have the same jokes, or it's not even that me looking for black people, obviously not. When it happens, it happens. When the vibes are right, when the vibes are right. But it's just hurt me so many times knowing that they feel when people stop and stare. They know when they hear the comments from the people. I just sometimes don't know what to say. I heard so many things while being with them, and I'm like, it's disgusting. But we, honestly speaking, we do have to stand up for them. Sometimes they don't stand up for themselves. You know why? Because they heard it so many times that they don't even bother anymore. But it does bother. It does bother when you say you are a goddamn Muslim person. It does bother, and it should bother, and it should be spoken to in that second, even if you're gonna have this for the rest of your life. And I know racism existed prior to Islam. It exists meanwhile, and it exists now, and it will exist forever. We're sure, we know this. It's no brainer. However, it's our duty as Muslim people to stop it. Other than that, wallahi, I'm sorry, I don't know how you consider yourself a Muslim. I don't know how you identify as a Muslim person, the follower of the Prophet, Sayyidina Muhammad. I mean, I'm using my hands a lot. I know it's really infuriating and it's really disgusting. I don't understand at any point in life someone can think this way. Please, just a reminder, think you are in the presence of the Prophet. I'm not even going higher and tell you you are at the presence of Allah who created you. If you don't feel you're gonna cry, you feel you are so if you don't feel the power of that sentence, then there's deeply something wrong with you. Deeply something wrong with you. And I really, I wouldn't know exactly what to tell you. However, please make sure on a daily basis to remember that. If you say something in that sense, if you say any racist comment, even if you think it's not racist, but anything negative towards any other person based on his color, please think that the Prophet would be standing next to you and he would be hear your discussion. If you're gonna continue saying these words, I truly dare. I truly dare you. I truly don't believe that one person out there who considers himself Muslim would continue this discussion. He would think about it a million times. He would feel ashamed, embarrassed, and he would feel a disgrace for the Muslim community. If this is too uncomfortable for you to hear, if this is too awkward, if you feel attacked, honestly speaking, I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I'm not here to make you feel, oh my God. I'm not here to make you feel I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I'm here to speak the truth. And I believe there are so many people obviously out there that's speaking the truth. They are standing for the good thing. Whether they are North Africans, Middle Eastern, or can be also a Pakistani, Nepali, whatever Asian region you are, from the Muslim community. And I really hope, I'm not gonna say I really hope you like this video, because honestly speaking, it's not for people to like it. I know a lot of people will backlash. I know a lot of people would hate when I say these things. I truly don't care. We have to finally, I'm not gonna say stop it. It's not gonna stop overnight. We have to start diminishing. We have to start reflecting on our own behavior. Forget what your friend's saying. Forget what your cousin is saying, because your cousin does not want to sit with someone who's, darker skin, or his daughter is not allowed to marry someone who's, from, Senegal or Tanzania, Kenya, whatever it may be. Think about you going to God another day. Think about your deeds. Think about the human you're gonna make feel so bad. He's gonna go to sleep feeling hurt daily, but you were the reason. You were the reason. If you're gonna continue with that life, it's up to you. So please share, please be strong, please be faithful to yourself, please be faithful to your religion and the Prophet. Just be faithful to your sunnah, that's it. There's not much to say to this. There's no formula for this. There is no let's do this, let's do that. As Muslim people, that's the only formula. Just yeah. Okay guys, I leave you with this video, and let's hope for the better in the future. Bye.
Yes guys, I believe that you have watched this video up to this point. Now, me personally, I once experienced racism from white people, from the Indians, who usually troll people, and the Bengalis, who they get themselves fired from the jobs, and also the Chinese who refuse to let me go into their shops because they were selling things to only the Chinese. And also at the same time, I also got experience racism in a black community where they put dark complexion down, black downs more than the people. Like the darker you are, you experience this thing. But I think that white racism is also another level. It is more genocide level and all type, like KK hanging up. So you'll find that more Islamic practice and knowledge persons, the more you shed that tribalism and racism. In my experience, strangely enough, Pakistans are less racist than the Indians, and a lot of cultures, the worst of us more are likely to be scared of one another. Like strange enough, Pakistan are like I'm saying, strange enough, Pakistan are less racism than the Indians because they more are likely to be scared of another race out of it be different. Then because we think we are better than the Pakistan, are very critical by the Pakistanis. This woman really experienced his brother really experienced something here. And in this video, people came out with some of the comments which I'm going to read for you. That some said Someone said that I never thought being Pakistan looking was a negative. Your brother must be good looking then. Funny thing is that Pakistan, I thought Arabs were more darker complexion or different facial structure, which is beautiful as they are genetically closer to Africa. Some are failure but are clearly do not look European due to facial structures and skin thick. As Pakistans, we range from Indians looking to blonde and blue-eyed as we are Indo Indo-European. I think racism is going to be in more cultural people rather than the religious because culture has tendency towards tribalism and even racism. Even black people can be racist. I personally experienced this in a couple of times. Now, this also someone said that when I was a girl, my black friend who was my neighbor as well had one day when I saw her with a cousin. I said, hey, then suddenly she slapped my face. She slapped my face to my shock just because she did not want to show she was befriending a cool race. Another time, a Jamaican black 6 feet man threatened to beat me up on the bus just for brushing past him in an overcrowded London bus. I had apologized, but he continued to threaten to burst my face. Another time, my younger sister had a proposal from a black Muslims guy who had African Muslim Nigerian mother and who did not like us from the time she entered our house. She just had a looking of contentment as she entered. No smile or softness or warmth in any way. She just kept looking at our house like it was not up to scratch and turned her nose up at us. He later turned down my sister. Unfortunately, it was not a surprise. Okay, it was not a surprise. Mm. So these are the people who said a lot of things there. Now there's so much racism. Like I experienced racism from whites, from Indians. They troll and Bangladesh. They get me fired from jobs, and Chinese refusing to let me purchase a Chinese beer because I am not a Chinese. So I see black people race towards their own blacks. They put darker complexion blacks down. So, but I think white racism is another level. It is more of a Holocaust. KK hanging blacks to South African apartheid. More Islamic practice and knowledgeable a person gets, the more you shed that tribalism and racism in my experience. Strangely enough, Pakistans are less racist than the Indians, and a lot of cultures, the worst of us more of likely to be scared of another race out of it different than because we think we are better. Pakistans are very critical of Pakistan. We curse ourselves rather than curse other races. I heard black people vloggers visiting Pakistan say they felt warmth from Pakistan hospitality. At least there's some good thing there. Moreover, uh, melanin contributes to the efficient functioning of the nervous system. It is present in the eyes, where it absorbs excess light and enhances vision by reducing glare. Additionally, melanin is found in the inner ear, aiding in the protection and function of auditory reception. Beyond these physical advantages, embracing the diversity of melanin levels in different individuals promotes richer gene pool and enhances the adaptability of human population to various environments. Recognizing the scientific significance of melanin helps dispel stereotypes and fosters a deeper appreciation for the beauty of diversity. Let's celebrate the incredibility of this. So, human population to various environments recognize the scientific significance of melanin, which helps dispel stereotypes and fosters a deeper appreciation for the beauty of diversity. Let's celebrate the incredible diversity of human melanin and the myriad ways it contributes to our health and well-being. And if someone who is racist happens to read this, perhaps they will see the beauty in the melanin skin. These are the advantages of melanin. So, but you much rather think with lighter skin woman want you. So there is so much things that he talked about here in this video, and I believe that it also help you to learn something here.